Let's Chit Chat UK. This is the right space to explore real-life issues affecting real people. We provide professional counseling to individuals, couples, organization, schools, church, and others. Follow, share, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Let's Chit Chat UK. Let's Chit Chat UK live stream. Hey, I'm Pastor Cecile Abba, a counsellor by profession from Let's Chit Chat UK. This is the right space to explore real-life issues affecting real people. We provide professional counseling to individuals, couples, organization, schools, church, and others. Follow, share, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Let's Chit Chat UK.
Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you all. This is Let's Chit Chat. I think we have noise from your side. This is Let's Chit Chat again. I'm Pastor Cecile. Great to have you on board tonight. I am with one of our co-hosts. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Pastor Eno, and we are here to chit chat as always. And today we have a great topic.
Brilliant. This is Let's Chit Chat. And today we have a great topic. We're missing on Brother Richard is not around. Mr. Richard is not around today, but hey, he will be back next week. So it's going to be great and awesome. Our topic tonight is we are asking the question, why men suffer in silence? Why will a man go through issue, go through situation, go through problem, and is not really able to express himself and is not able to talk it? And why do men suffer in silence? Many men are suffering mental health problem because they cannot express whatever they're going through. Why is that? I would really love to know that. Pastor Enoch. Why are men suffering in silence? Why are they not talking? Why are they not expressing themselves? Why are they not coming out with the issue? What do you think?
Wow. Mommy, thank you very much. And as I said earlier on, this is a very nice topic that must be treated. You know, when you ask why do men suffer in silence, why do men intend not to speak when they are going through some troubles or challenges, and the answer is simple. In our society, we seem to take care of men, or we see men as the head and people that are supposed to know everything. So sometimes it's not easy for somebody or for a man when he is going through something to come out. Maybe in the area of marriage, in the area of finances, sometimes it seems like even you cannot ask your own wife when you are going through financial problem, because you are supposed to know everything. You are supposed to figure out. Men are the head of the family. Men are the head in the society. So if they are going through challenges and troubles, mommy, the answer is that how society perceives them makes it very difficult for them to express themselves.
Wow. So I love that. I love that. I'm going to come back to that. How society perceives men. But one thing for sure, when a man head or brain is not working properly, shouldn't it just be like his leg is not working properly and he's going to the hospital? Because if a man's leg is not working properly, he will go to the hospital, he will go and seek for help, he will see the doctor. But why is it that when the brain, something to do with the mind is not working properly, the issue is there, then he doesn't find it easy to actually go and seek for help? It might not even be within the family, even with friends, men still don't seek for help. Is it because of, like you just said, the masculine stereotype that says men ought to endure, men ought to be independent, Is it because the society has actually installed this idea of stereotyping men to be enduring, so something can hurt a man and they expect you to just cope with it, just to be strong with it, just to endure and just to be independent? Is it what is making men suffer in silence? Yeah.
Sure, mommy. That one also like play parts when men decide not to speak out, because as you were saying, that's how in quote society or families perceive men, even to the extent that in the area of even our head, sometimes you might be suffering from something that like you feel the pain. But if you show off the pain, or you come out with the pain that you are going through, in quote, some people even will see you as a woman or a soft person, which sometimes prevents men from expressing themselves. For instance, if like I'm not feeling well as a man, and let's say there is no food in the house, there's no food in the house. Instead of me to, let's say, complain to my partner or the family that, hey, I'm not feeling well, I can't go out today, and express my feeling that expecting the wife or the others in the family to go for food for the family, I might go when I'm not well, because I don't want a situation whereby people are looking up to you. So it's a form of embarrassment when like you are supposed to get something for the family, and it's like you are not getting that particular thing. The reason why I will not come out from what I'm suffering from is that I'll feel embarrassed to tell my partner or to tell whomever is concerned that I'm not feeling well. So one thing that makes men not to speak out when they are going through something, one is embarrassment. They feel embarrassed to express their concern. And the other thing I would say, I would say pride. Like we intend to lose our pride, whereby it's like you can't do anything and you are dependent on others to do so many things for you. So I would say that pride also play a factor that keeps men silent, even though when they are suffering.
Wow, I quite love that, because I was going to ask the next question that I think is the classical teaching that makes a masculine view to be viewing. If they show some emotion, they seem as if they're very weak, they're not strong, they're not men anymore. So that is really the teaching. But then, is there not a sad part of it where many men becoming, or they turn themselves out of emotion, the out of touch? They get out of touch with their emotion, they get out of touch with their feeling, because they are expected to be strong, they expected not to show some kind of weakness, they expected not to even be human, if I say the least. They're expected not to be human, because weakness, if you're showing your feeling or your emotion, it doesn't mean that you are weak. It just means that you are human. You are expressing what you're feeling. Same way, if you're feeling pain, you're expressing that, okay, I'm hurt. So if you're feeling pain and you are hiding the pain away because somebody will judge you as a weak person, so that means, should it be fair, or should I ask this question, that so meaning that men are out of touch with their emotion? Because you just have to be out of touch with your emotion, not to express them, not to show them, not to actually want people to know that this is what I'm feeling. So a man can be feeling hurt, but they're still smiling. So is it not too dangerous?
I mean, one way or the other, we might say it's dangerous. One way or the other, we might say it's normal. The dangerous aspect is that it can kill you emotionally. It can kill you emotionally. You know, as at times we were talking about the woman aspect, whereby a woman is not able to express herself in kind of relationship or wherever the woman find herself. The woman can do something harmful to herself. So as it applies also to man, since we are born of blood and flesh, we all have emotions, and we all have some things that we cannot solve on our own. So I would say that it's very dangerous when a man reaches a point of time in his life that he cannot express himself. So many people intend to commit suicide. So many people intend to kill themselves because they can't come out of what they are facing or what they are going through in all what society will tell them or what family members will tell them. Let's look at a situation whereby a graduate, a young guy has completed school, and the person is not getting job to do, and it seems like he is finding it hard to get even food to eat. You know, many people will say that you have completed school, you are lazy. People will call you lazy. Even those that does not know anything concerning your life or concerning what you are going through, they will call you all manner of names. And if you are a kind of person that cannot stand such negativity in your life, the only option that will be available for you is that society has the is not fighting for you, or society is not on your side. So if you cannot encourage yourself, the best thing that one can do is to some way commit suicide, and that has sometimes increased the level of suicidal incidents in our society. So I would say that it's very dangerous whereby men also go through some difficulties and challenges they cannot come out. So mommy, in that aspect, it's very dangerous.
Mm. So here you say, meaning that men feel extremely uncomfortable on the idea of feeling or being vulnerable. So men feel
Hmm.
uncomfortable of being vulnerable because when a woman has an issue, um, she will feel vulnerable because she will cry, she will express herself. So the weaker part of herself or the painful part of the situation will come out. So therefore, she allows her vulnerability to come out. But
Hmm.
from what you said, men feel extremely uncomfortable of being vulnerable. For therefore, on that level, they rather just end their life, just commit
Hmm.
suicide. So they feel
Hmm.
ashamed or they feel
Hmm.
embarrassed to look for support. Is
Hmm.
it does it then reside to individual man not to look at the society, to look at your own situation as a man that, you know what, I'm not the whole society, I'm me, I'm myself. If I need help, I need to seek for help, not because
Hmm.
the society has stereotyped men in a
Hmm.
box that men are ought to be strong, men are ought to be independent, men are all not to rely or depend on people. But at the
Hmm.
same time, the same society know that the same men are also just human beings as everyone is. So there's only so much one human being can therefore carry, so much burden that you can carry, and there are limits to everyone's brain or everyone's
Hmm.
mind to how far you can cope with an issue by yourself on your own. So you need to seek for help. So, and again, I will touch or ask you questions about uh, African men, black and ethnic minority men. They don't want to seek for help. They don't want to look for help. Some of them, even in their own family, they don't want to seek for help. Is it that feeling of embarrassment or that feeling of shame or that feeling of disgrace that they think is going to come on them? What is that?
Wow, mommy. Before even I go to the question that you answer question, I would say that when it comes to women, as we were saying earlier on, it's very easy for women to express themselves when it comes to this kind of situation. And society will never condemn them or will never like make them feel ashamed, because we consider them as we consider them as the neck of the man. So society will take it as normal and will intend to help women more than when men comes out of their shell when it comes to this kind of situation. So if you and a lady or a woman is going through something which is similar, the probability that the woman will be helped and you'll be left behind is very high. So I will say that these kind of emotional instabilities also play disadvantage to men, because you can't come out. For instance, even in Africa, as you are saying, we put every burden in the family on men. Everything that is in the family, people expect the man to stand for the family. Even if the woman is doing well in the family, it is not considered, or it's not the obligation or the job of the woman to cater for the family. I was reading through some Facebook messages, and I realized that one woman made a certain comment that the money that the husband makes is for her, and the money that she makes is for herself. In this way, you expect as the man, that means that in Africa, you are considered to provide everything that the family needs. So even if you are going through some challenges or some troubles, it's hardly for the man to come out. Some people kill themselves. Some people at the young stage, when they complete school, they leave the house because of the pressures that are coming on them. So I would say that, mommy, it's very difficult for man to come out from whatever that he is facing because of maybe what society has quoted men to be.
That's very good. You just said something. I'm coming back to that in a minute. But we have Richard, who is very much live at the moment, following. Richard says, do women want a softie? Don't they like a solid rock of a man? So women like a solid rock of a man. They don't like softy men. Richard, I'm going to reply to that. I'm going to answer that. Then Richard is also saying there has been an increase in women, in feminine men, those soon in touch with their feeling. Okay, those soon in touch with their feeling. Women don't know if they are coming or going. Oh wow. Women don't know if they are coming or going. And this features role model for men. So Richard is saying women don't know if they are coming or going because some of them want to feature as men. And it's also saying that many women want a solid rock as a man, not a softy man. And then, well, Richard, thank you for the pretty smile. Thank you. I salute you. We miss you tonight. So we are coming back to what you just said and what Richard said. You just illustrated something that if a man and a woman are going through the same issue or similar issue, same problem, a woman will be hurt fast enough than a man will be hurt. And the woman will be taken into accountability or what answered. The woman will be answered more quicker than a man will be answered. And then it's the same way Richard is saying that woman wants a man who is stronger, not a man who is weak and soft. I really say that because men tend to, I will repeat again, men in a way they will express themselves. They will express themselves with limitation, with reluctance. You have to kind of drag the issue out of them as if you're dragging I don't know, you're dragging something out of the hole in order for them to actually get to explain what is happening. Many a times, if a man is going to issue, you can ask them 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and they wouldn't answer. They wouldn't say. They say, "Oh, I cannot be bothered," or I'm tired," or "I don't want to talk now." So the more they prolong with that issue, with the answer that they're giving, "I don't want to talk now. I am tired. I tell you later. It's not the right time." So you are actually diluting that issue. As a man, you are making the issue not to be significant. You are you are giving mixed messages. At the same time, you're suffering with this issue. At the same time, when anyone attempts to reach you in order for you to come out, you will divert and postpone and procrastinate and look for any excuse for a man to actually come out and say, "You know, this is what is going on." And so by the time a man comes out with the issue is when they probably mentally they're not all right anymore, they're not stable. Maybe when they have lost it all, things are really gone to sometime the place where you cannot salvage anymore. And even if it's in a place where you can salvage, it's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of time. Sometimes at that breaking point, there are not many people who can easily still find the answer, because a man has left that problem to a damaging spot before they get to seek for help. Some men are grieving. You might see a man and a woman might lost a family member, or they might lost something that is very dear to them. They might lost their house, or they might lost a job or their work, and a man will bottle it in and cope with it. But while he's coping with it, he will be acting out. It might be in anger, it might be in frustration, it might be in alcohol, it might be in drug, it might be behaving on impulse, it might even be mental health is really baffling him because he's not able to come out and say, "You know what, I'm suffering with this issue. This is difficult." Is it because many people, including myself as a woman, many women and many men have created this unfortunate environment where men don't feel comfortable to seek for help? That's what I can say. Have we created an environment where men don't feel comfortable to seek for help? Because a woman will easily seek for help. Therefore, is it the environment, including men themselves, they created this picture where they find it difficult to seek for help, difficult to reach out, difficult to speak out. And men also, they find it hard to seek for counseling because a problem shared is a problem half solved. So anything you bottle up by yourself, at the end of the day, your brain start losing or getting short of oxygen, and then you start getting short of ideas, then you become frustrated, then you can no longer breathe, then your mind is all over the place, your heart and your soul and your spirit is all over the place. So it becomes difficult to rationalize yourself, plus the pressure of life. So I'm going to ask, have we created, including men themselves, have we all created an environment where men don't feel comfortable to seek for help? What do you think?
Wow. I mean, I say definitely we have created a scenario that men are men. So it even starts from your youthful stage. The day that you were born, you are being told that you are a man. And as a man, you need to stand on your own. You need not to depend on others or even on women for survival. So at even your younger stage, this is something they have told you not to seek even for help when you need it most. So at the back of your mind, you are preparing to fight for yourself. You are prepared to stand even in fire without you mentioning anything. You are a soldier of your own. So I think the education aspect, the things that we have said to us at a younger stage, plays major role in our upbringings. So it's difficult for a man to come out easily when he is being confronted by her wife.
Mm.
So I
Oh,
think one thing that, Mhm.
no, carry on.
Yeah, I think one thing that can be helpful when it comes to this kind of situation is that the woman must create an atmosphere whereby the man can express himself when he is going through something. So as you need good communication, because if in a relationship way, if I am with my woman and it's like everything depends on me, I need to bring in bread. I need to bring in anything that the family will need. Sometimes it will reach a point that I cannot express myself when I'm going through challenge because your eyes is on me. The family, everything is looking up to me to be the provider of the family. But
Mm.
if we start the relationship or we start the marriage and it's like, oh, I'm comfortable when I don't have, I'm able to tell you, oh, wifey, today or this month, if you could help in the payment of the bills and you respond well, it will be easy for me when I'm going through something to be open up to you. But if I cannot open up to you when it comes to the area of finances, when it comes to the area of health, when it comes to any area, I cannot open up to you. A time might come, I might be dying inside. I will not be able to open up to you, all because it's not our thing. It's not our style. We are not used to such communication. So I think women also must play major role if the man is supposed to come out when he is going through something. And the family should lessen the burden that they put on men when it comes to responsibilities. I think there must be equal share of responsibilities when it comes to family matters.
Wow, I love that. It goes back to what Richard said. I'm going to read a few comments from Richard. We still haven't touched on the point that Richard says that women want, they don't want a softy man. Richard just said, I've only joined. Have you addressed the elephant in the room? What does a man do when he is their own partner that, what did he say? That is in stress, is stressing them. Okay. What will a man do when is the own partner that is stressing them? That's the elephant in the room. Richard, we're going to discuss that. So Richard is saying, what will a man do when he's the own partner who is putting stress on them? And Richard, that is a very good point. And Richard says, many women want a strong man. I will agree with Richard on one line. Many women will want a strong man. Many women will want a man who can stand up for themselves, behave as a man, provide for the family, love the family, be all around a man in the house. But at the same time, I don't think many women will want that at the expenses of a stressful husband or stressful partner, a partner who behave or reacts on the impulse, a partner who is aggressive, a partner who is going mentally crazy just because they need to provide in the house. So it becomes a responsibility of a man to actually trying to reach for that help, because if you know that your man and your wife expecting you to provide everything else, but when it becomes too much, when it gets to the stage where you can no longer breathe because it's not easy to provide, it should be also easier to come out and say it that it is difficult. I'm finding it difficult. But I think many men keep that part to themselves until things are worse, until things are very difficult. And Richard says, this is the Richard's point. Second point, he says, What do you then do when is the wife herself or the partner who is actually causing that stress? What do you say about that person? No, if it's the wife who's causing the stress in the family or in the relation, making that man to mentally lose their sanity, having mental health, because many men are really, really suffering mental health issues, but they are not able to ask for help at all. And sometimes they themselves, they don't know that they are they actually going through mental health problem. It's only the way they act, and even that way they act, they don't know that it's not normal, because that's what they've been doing for some time. But you can only get to talk to them to realize that they're no longer rational. So what do you think when Richard says, when is a wife causing that mental health distress to the husband? What do you think to Richard's comment?
Yeah, Mommy, thank you. Before even I go into that question from Mr. Richard, I greet you. Before I go into that question, Mommy, I would say that we need to build friendship before marriage. And even, how do you consider a man to be weak? You know, it depends on what you want from a man. So why will you go in for a man that you are not seeing the future in with him? If I don't find the qualities that I need from a man, even before that I enter into the relationship with you, I must be able to know that, no, this relationship will not go far. So in that aspect, you will not look at the structure of the man, you will not look at, the handsomeness of the man, but you will look at the qualities that you want to find in a man. Because the same qualities that you don't want, the same qualities some people are looking for. So in the first place, you don't even need to enter into a relationship whereby you find like kind of shortness or shortcomings in a man that, oh, I will build it up. No. Because if you expect a man that will dress well and follow you when you are going to occasions, you need to start from the beginning. So it's not that you have got married, then that you are going to say, oh, my man is weak, this and that and this and that. So many women make mistake when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I think, as Mr. Richard said, that we need to bring friendship. We need to build up something that will be enable the man that even after marriage, the person will be able to express himself. I've gone to some various families whereby couples, they play together. You know, they can do everything. Sometimes I see it as this art that the man is acting is disgraceful, but the woman like it. The woman like
Wow.
it. So to
that.
somebody that is outside the marriage, you look it as if like the man is being disgracing himself. You look at it as if, why is the man even behaving in that way? But this is what is building the family. So you see the qualities that you find in a man before you even get married to the person. Every man has an ego. So you know that, oh, this person that I'm going in for, is he capable of this or he's not capable of this? And it's true that women play part in stressing men out. If I come, yeah, mommy, it's very true. It's very, mentally. If you come to the house and your woman like has prepared food, and that day you were not able to give money for those kind of stuff, the woman will bring empty plates, and at the end of the day, to tell you something that you are not even welcome in the family. So many men are drunkards, have turned to drinking and these kind of things due to what they are going through in the family. So it's true that women play major part when it comes to men killing themselves fast.
Wow. So Richard is saying the woman is stressing, so the woman is killing. You are agreeing with Richard. Richard also said, remember, what did he say? I remember a big, well-built school friend from Portugal. He was a big softie who didn't fight, but was a very creative design shoe, design shoe. But later in life, his sweetness and big heart was taken for granted, abused by a woman. Is this kind of woman strong? Wow. Is this kind of woman strong? So, uh, a woman who finds a man who is very nice and very creative and a provider, but the woman ended up abusing him. Is this kind of woman strong? Then we have Mr. Atta. Good evening, Mr. Atta. We have Mr. Atta saying men has ego, and when that ego is insulted in any way, it kills their spirit. So mostly instead of taking and talking about their problem, they prefer keeping it to themselves. It's also have to do with how the relationship was built. I mean, communication. So he's coming back to the same thing you said, that it's about how the relationship was built from the beginning, the communication, the creativity, the lack of it. But I love what the Richard and Brother Atta, they both said that he said man has ego, a man has an ego, and if he's insulted in any way, that is killed. So therefore, he will not be able to express himself anymore. And the same illustration that Richard has said about this friend of his, a Portuguese friend, who was very nice and very creative and a good provider. So therefore, the woman took him for granted. So it comes back to the same thing. I will say that same with what Brother Atta said and what Brother Richard said about that woman using and abusing men because they are nice and friendly. And once they kill that ego in them or insults that ego in them, they therefore going to keep themselves to themselves and they will not be able to express any issue. But then both of you are saying that it depends on how the relationship started at the beginning. So should we then conclude that a man has a bigger part to play in their mental health in order for them to sustain a good mental health? Because if we are coming outside the relationship, we are just looking at that man, we are looking at that person, we are looking at that individual. Anything that you allow to hit you or to come to you, that means you willingly open the door for you to be treated wrong. You willingly open the door for you to be treated with lack of respect. You willingly open the door for you to be taken for granted. You willingly open the door for your ego to be insulted. It's just like you allow someone to treat you anyhow. So should we say that men have a bigger role to play, knowing that as a man, you will not always cry out loud like a woman is crying out loud. Should we therefore, at a small sign of discomfort, as every sign of difficulty, shouldn't you therefore, as a man, take it upon yourself that this is my health, this is my mental health. Let me express it before it becomes worse, because men are really suffering mentally quite a lot, and you have said it, many of them that are committing suicide, they're killing themselves because they cannot cope anymore. Should it then be the responsibility of a man to start with to understand that when things are not working, I must speak, I must express myself, I must come out, I must say it, because I'm not feeling good, I'm not feeling right in myself. I don't want to leave it when I cannot speak anymore, when I cannot say it anymore, when I become a drunkard, when I become an alcoholic, when I become a drug addict, when I become violent, then I start acting out. Should I not just come out and say it when I can still keep my sanity? What do you think?
Thank you, mommy. One thing I would say, as we were saying, that everything starts from the roots, the beginning. How you compose yourself, how you showed yourself to the woman. There must be consistency in that area, and that woman will love you as you are. There is always a woman for every man. It doesn't matter the character that you possess or the features or the structures that you possess. So as there is a man for every woman, it doesn't matter how beautiful or how how you are. There is something for you. So I would say that if I come as I am and I see that my connection with you is not compatible, all that I need to do is to break free from myself, that it won't end me badly. Sometimes we see the signs that you can be in date or you'll be dating somebody for 6 months and you'll be facing the same abusive, dealings and this kind of stuff, but you still insist that, oh, this woman is very beautiful, this woman is this and that, so I'll go in for that woman. You will die soon and you will die young. So I would say that, first of all, you need to approach a woman as you are. You need to be yourself. If you like joking too much when it comes to relationship, the beginning express that. And if the woman insults your dignity for maybe 2 or 3 times, you need to create that relationship. It means that that lady is not for you. So it's better for you to kill it from the beginning than to let it go forward for you to kill yourself. Either you kill it or it kills you. So why do you have to wait? Why do you have to wait for it to kill you? So there
Wow.
is
Go ahead.
there is a role for everybody when it comes to relationship, or how men will be able to come out from their share. As you were saying that, oh, the person might not, come out easily. So it go to the point that the woman will start misbehaving to the woman. Maybe the woman might see other men, how they are behaving, how they are treating their wives and this kind of stuff. You saw me before you met them. So if you want to go for them, you shouldn't come for somebody that cannot provide what you want for you. So it's a mistake. Yeah, mommy, it's a mistake that we men and the women and even human beings we do. Because why would I go in for somebody that at the beginning that the person doesn't respect me? Then I'll be saying that, oh, maybe when we get married, the person will respect me. When we give birth, even if you give birth, that moment that everything will be spoiled.
I love
Sure.
that. Richard, I love what you said. And I have a question from what you said, but I'm going to read Richard's comment. Richard said, a big topic, how does it look to children if they see their father crying, weeping, carried up in a corner, carried up in a corner? Does it look not possibly bad, negative? All right. So Richard is asking about the children. Then he also say, what does the religion says about suffering? Don't they say to fight through it? Is mental, what did he say? Is mental illness sees it as sin or weakness that needs rejection? Okay, Richard, you have brought in a very, very good and very important topic about the children. If the children see their father crying, what will that mean to the children? At the same time, if the children see their father mentally ill, what does this mean to the children? I will rather see my father crying than seeing him mentally ill, because mental illness is really bad. It is very cruel. It destroys. It's violent. When a man has a mental illness, it's very difficult, and it's very difficult to handle. Sometimes it's discovered when a man cannot look after themselves anymore, they cannot take care of themselves anymore, they cannot take care of the family anymore. The friends at that time, because men don't have so many friends, they now withdrawn to themselves, no friends. Family are seeing them as if they're irrational, they unsupportive, they cannot support, they cannot understand, they cannot listen, they cannot pay attention, or they just simply don't care. So it will be actually okay for a father to cry and say to a son or daughter, you know, that daddy just crying because the issue is a bit too much, daddy just a bit overwhelmed at the moment, daddy will be fine, I just need to get it out of the way. That is better than to get to the stage where daddy's coming home smelling alcohol, daddy's coming home smelling drugs, daddy's coming home violent, kicking doors, shouting left, right, center. So it's better for that daddy to cry on the corner and then just say, I'm just overwhelmed with issue at the moment, I will be fine, everything will be fine, not to worry, because mental illness is hitting men and it's a serious thing. And even when it does hit men to the level where they need to seek for help, they still feel embarrassed, they still feel shame, they still feel disgraced because they think people will judge them, friends will judge them. So Pastor Enoch, you said something earlier on which I think it goes back to men again. Although women are doing it, but I will think men are doing it more, because some men will go and say, oh, my wife doesn't do this. My wife, I have a good wife. My wife doesn't talk when I say something. My wife's obeying. Then this husband will take it on board because they're going and visit their friend and the wife has cooked and put food on the table, or the wife is calm. You don't necessarily know what this husband is doing in the house. Some husbands are cooking in the house, they will not come and tell you that I'm cooking for my wife, or I'm cooking my own food. Some husbands are washing their own clothes. They will not come and tell you that, oh, by the way, I'm washing my own clothes. They will tell you the good bits about their marriage, but they will not tell you the bad bit about the marriage. But therefore, any other man who's sitting there will start admiring this marriage, thinking that, oh, it's all glorious, everything is working fine. But the man has not actually disclosed what they're doing to the wife in the house. They haven't disclosed their share of responsibility. They only disclose how their marriage is a peaceful marriage. What is their part in the peaceful marriage? What sacrifice are they making to that marriage to be peaceful? But they're not saying that. So any other ignorant man will hear it and say, oh, I need a peaceful marriage. My wife talks so much, my wife fights so much, my wife demands me too much. Has this man explained to you exactly why is the wife quiet and there's peace at home? What is their share in bringing peace to their family? So sometimes it's very wrong also for a man to stand out and say, oh, my house is this, my marriage is that, my marriage is that. Give the other men all the secrets to how you maintain that, because there are many things that you're doing that other men are not doing, and they will expect their wives to be exactly how they have heard. I'm sorry to say. Pastor Enoch, you also said something which I might have forgotten just because of I was reading what Richard said. Richard just said, has Brother Enoch seen such stories? Gets him involved more in the meaning. He's definitely more involved. He is involved at the moment. So Richard is saying mental illness is possibly seen as more of taboo in church or in a religion than circular circle. But is this the case at circular approach, e.g. counseling, being better than prayer or avoidance? Richard, I will answer that. As a counselor, I will tell you my opinion of what I've seen in the counseling scene regarding mental health with men, not so much with women, with men. Richard asked a question earlier on. He said, what does religion say about suffering? Don't they say fight it? Don't they say fight it? Mental health is seen as sin. Richard is asking, is mental health is seen as sin in religion, and what does religion says about it? Doesn't religion says to fight mental health? What do you think about that? Because it's quite important as a pastor, as someone who lives in church, and someone who sees many men in church suffering, because many men are suffering in church, many men are divorcing in church than outside the church. So what do you think about that?
Okay, mommy, thank you. Before I go to the religion aspect, I would say first and foremost, when it comes to a man crying in front of the case, mommy, I say that it's very good thing, as you said. I would rather cry in front of my kids for my kids to know how their mom are treating me than when they are going to marriage, they will be careful the kind
So
of
that
woman,
vengeance.
yeah, for them to be careful the kind of woman they will choose in the future. So always it's good for your kids to know what is going on in the marriage. If your wife is not giving you food, let the kids know that you see your mom. Next time when you are grown up and you go into marriage, make sure that you go to right person or you find a right and a virtuous woman to marry. I will let them know whatever that is happening to me as a caution to them. And when it comes to the religion aspect, mommy, that is true. It's very true. You have to let your kids know. You have to let your kids know. And when it comes to the religion aspect, I would say that yes, you are being taught to fight suffering, but it's not all suffering that you can handle. That's why even the Bible also said that Jesus said, "Cast your burdens onto me, for I care." That means that some burdens you cannot carry on your own. You need to share them. You see, this kind of thing applies to pastors more. You might be going through something, but because of some way that you have been teaching your church members, you can't go to your church member when you tell the church member that, oh, when you are in need, God will provide. And when you are in need, you want the church member to provide. You see, so this also applies to the pastors also as well. But I would say that if you are in need, God uses men to provide the needs of men. I will always say men are soil. Every human being is a soil, and every human being is a seed. So we need each other for us to get the fruits. So when you are in trouble, that's why we have counselors also there. You need to confront the person. Those that are elderly and wise, you need to confront them that this is what I'm going through. Even in a marriage, you shouldn't keep everything for yourself, because wisdom is not in one man's mind. So you need to be able to open up, that people can be able to read you and to know when you are in need, to be able to help you. So I would say that religion does not teach us to suffer alone. It teaches us to share our cares. When God was talking about even the disciples, he was talking about how the church they sold their goods and their properties, and they shared among themselves. So it means that nobody is born to carry his own burden. Our burdens and our sufferings are there for us to share them. Yeah, I've come across so many instances whereby one person will tell me, "Oh, when I was in with my ex, the things that she used to do to me, this my new wife, she's not doing." Right? The person cannot tell the wife to do what the ex was doing, because no, he's afraid that so you mean your mind is still on your ex, right? And it might come to a situation whereby there can be a broken home. So the best way is to be wise enough to let the woman knows what you want and what you expect from her. So as Mr. Richard, the question is, our sufferings are not meant for us to carry alone. Our sufferings are meant for us to share.
I love that, Richard. I hope you're satisfied with that answer. The Bible says, faith without work is dead. So if you have faith and you pray and you don't work practical, you don't put the practicality of it, so that means it's a dead faith. It will not produce anything. So if you have an issue where you know very well that your wife maybe cannot clean or doesn't want to clean, you pray to God that my wife should be cleaning the house because I'm doing all the work by myself. Once you pray to God, God will not fall from heaven and come and tell your wife that, you know what, your husband is suffering cleaning the house. You still have to open your mouth and tell her that, you know what, you need to share in cleaning. And if you see that that issue is creating mental health where it's not resolved, counselors are there to help, because it's a third party who is professionally helping you. They're not taking side in your marriage, and neither with you nor the wife. They just bringing reasoning to that issue. They are kind of like bringing awareness to both parties that this is what this person is doing to themselves. Let this person know what they're doing to you, and let that person know what they're doing to you. The both of you come to understanding, so they are mediator. They're not actually taking side, because as a Christian, you have prayed, you have waited on God. You need to go the extra mile, because when men start drinking, they have been praying, they have been waiting on God, but they haven't been talking to somebody. They haven't been sharing. So if you pray and something is bottling you inside, you need to come out, speak it out, let other person tell you there might be a way out, and you don't know that way out. Like Pastor Enoch says, God have put all of us to help each other. That's why they created the counselor, the governor, the minister, the prime minister, the police officer, the prison, the shopkeeper. If not, God will not need to bring all these things, including the counselor. So God created all these positions and all these people because there's a need. So if someone will tell you that there's no need for a counselor, they are deceiving you, and they are fooling you, and they're fooling themselves, because everything else has a need. Richard also said that mommy, I think it's probably no. It's my son Atta who said, mommy, every individual is fighting a secret battle, and we have to make sure we are good to everyone. But when problems overwhelm us, we should speak it out. Total silence or mental problem leads to depression, and the result is always suicide in the end. We have to open up. Exactly, very correct. We have to open up. You're very right there, because every mental health, it goes in alcohol, misconception, abuse, physical, mental, then it's depression, anxiety, and then someone commits suicide. If they don't kill themselves, they just literally lose hope in life and lose faith in life, and then just destroy themselves, and they render themselves useless in life. So therefore, unless they speak it out, they cannot discharge themselves. You need to speak it out. You speak it out in church. Church will lead you to prayer, to depend on God. Dependency on God doesn't mean don't solve that issue. We depend on God for our financial to be boosted. We depend on God for our health to be boosted. But if you need an operation and you sit down and say, God will come and operate on me, no, God has created the hospital. Same way, if you have that issue, you sit down and say, God will come and speak to my wife. No, counselors are there to help your mind to be set free, to find other ways in order for you to deal with this issue. Pastor, before we conclude or get to the end, now, is it fair to say that because men always bottle up their issues and they don't bring them out, they keep them in, they absorb them in, they keep them in, they're trying to be strong like the society, and their wives, like Richard said, women love tough men, and their wife and their family want them to be tough. Is it not because they bottle up this issue, and they tend to do the same thing over and over and over again, and then the problem don't get to be resolved, and they find themselves where the problem is now bigger. It looks like Pastor Enoch is in the dark and not too sure what's going on. It gets to the stage where the problem now becomes bigger, and when the problem becomes bigger, it becomes difficult, very, very difficult to resolve it. Then what do you have as an advice for a man today who might be listening to you? Is it okay for them once they start seeing that problem? You know, as women, when we see the problem, sometimes 99 or 95% of women, when they see an issue, they will express it. It might just be 5% of women will keep it in and keep it in and keep it in, but majority of the women, 99 or 95%, will come out with it. Should it be fair to say that men need to take responsibility and come out with it when they know that this is potentially can push me to the limits?
Thank you, Mommy. What I would say is that when it comes to the side of man or men, I would say that first you have to look inside yourself. If you be able to, solve the issue by yourself before you open up. One time, I know that when even you go to the scripture, the Bible will tell us that David encouraged himself in the Lord. There are times that you need to encourage yourself. You need to find the solution is within. Many a times, the solutions are within. It takes only weak mind to weep every day. So you need to find the strength inside. That's why you are the man. It's not everything. Though we are saying that women are stressing men and everything, but it's not everything. Too much of complaints, too much of dependence on the woman will create an atmosphere whereby it's like you have given your superiority or your headship to the woman. So what if everything you go to the woman and you complain, later thing you go to the woman and you complain? How do you want the woman to come to you when she is facing the same kind of issue? It will not help the relationship to grow. So even before that, you go to your woman with complaints. Before that, you go to people with complaints. Sometimes you need to relax yourself a little bit. You need to find a kind of realization for you to be able to think over what you are going through. Many a times you just need some rest. When you are going through something, many a times you need to keep quiet. You need some kind of silence. You need some kind of privacy. So all this must take into consideration before maybe you start complaining to the wife, in order not for your ego to be disrespected. So I say that
Carry on.
I would say that in as much as we are encouraging men to open up, yes, it's true that you need to open up to your partner, you need to open up to society, but it's not all subjects that you can open up to society. It's very best for you to see a counselor and somebody that you can count on as a mature person. And I said that women also has some kind of role to play, because relationships are for matured people. That when I tell you my problem is not for you to spread it to the society. My problem is not for you to preach it on pulpit. So when you are going through something, it's good for you to look inside you, and again for you to consult wise people, counselors, for them to give you some kind of advice that will help you. But not everybody that you should be telling your problem to, because there are people that you can tell your problem, they cannot handle it, they cannot help you, but they won't tell you. They will also go to some people to ask for the same help that you need. So before you realize, your matter is all over. So it's true that you are going through something, but what I would say is that first look inside yourself. If you can't find a solution, seek for help, for wise people. Thank you, mommy.
Brilliant. I love that. Look inside yourself, seek for help. And Richard, I'm going to read Richard's final word before we conclude. So Richard says, so to be clear, when someone says big man, don't cry, should we reject this as ignorant? Ignorant talk, enough what says you. Okay. When men say big man don't cry, definitely I really say that is ignorant, because if you're a man, it doesn't mean that you cannot be faced with an issue that your emotion will not be overwhelmed. A cry is a feeling of emotion. As a laughter is an emotion. An emotion of sadness will make you cry. An emotion of joy will make you laugh or smile. So if you're feeling emotion of sadness, deep sorrow, you have to get it out. If it's not out, it's bottled in. It will come in alcohol. So if someone says big men don't cry, that is ignorant speech, because a big man, a small man, a little man, they all are full of emotion. They all created like a big woman, a small woman, a little woman. They all have emotions. So yes, I really agree that that should not be said, because again, it's a serious tap. It's a stereotype. You stereotyping men, and you putting them into one box that they should not cry, they should not express their emotion. So therefore, they should die with mental health. They should be committing suicide. They should be taking drinking. They should be taking alcohol in order for them to actually come out. That's the only way they will come out. And Richard says, you seem a good woman. I seem a good woman. Sister Cecile, if I have a problem, are you able to listen? Richard, come on, how many times have I listened to your problem? Just how many times? I'm not going to speak, but I have listened to you, Richard. Thank you. It's good to have you on board tonight, Richard. It's really good to have you on board. Although we are missing you on the chat as of overall, but you have given us very, very good insights and very good point to discuss tonight. So thank you so much for your contribution. You have been out of sad, but you haven't been out of man, and you have been present throughout the talk. So hopefully we will have you next week fully charged and back on board. And tonight's topic just has been about, why do men suffer in silence? Why will a man be suffering and keeping quiet? And why will a man go through mental health, mental distress, become alcoholic, kill themselves, neglect themselves, feel as if they're useless, feel as if they're worthless, feel as if they don't deserve to be alive, just because somebody is oppressing them, or an issue is oppressing them, or the society is making them feel that they should be able to get it in control. They should be able to get it all together. No one should be able to get it all together, because we are all just finding our way through in life, and we are all just hustling and puffing and pushing through life. So there's no one who has the full package. Everyone is learning on a day-to-day basis. We are all finding things through as we go through the day. We are all discovering things. So knowledge is not possessed, like we said. There's no one who possesses knowledge. Knowledge is shared by everyone. What you might know, I might not know. What you might know, what I might know, you might not know. So Pastor Enoch, in few words, can you conclude so we can close?
Thank you, mommy. I will say that cry when the situation demands, weep when the situation demands, express yourself when the situation demands, and even apologize when the situation demands. Do as the situation demands. If it is the situation demands for you to, open up to people and be free, because your mental health matters in a relationship and your growth. Thank you, mommy.
Brilliant. As you have said, there's a season for everything. Time to cry, time to laugh, time to rejoice, time to born, time to die, like Pastor has said it. So I will say to all men and every woman out there, we need to try to create an environment where men can feel free to express themselves. Create an environment, a supportive environment where we will encourage men to be able to come out, to be able to listen to them. We also need to be able to learn to recognize when men are struggling, and men also themselves, they need to be able to recognize when they are struggling, because some men, when they are struggling, they think, let me just push a bit more, it will be fine. Let me just do a bit more, it will be fine. So they find themselves at the place where they cannot do a bit more, and it can never be fine, because they still think that if I just do this tiny bit, then all will be well. But you are digging your own grave at that time. Sometimes men don't know their limits. They think they can just carry on pushing and pushing until they get to the place where they completely stuck. They cannot push anymore. And again, like my son said earlier on, that if a woman and a man find themselves in the same position with the same issue, a woman will be hurt and a man will be ignored. I just want to appeal to everyone that we need to know that people are dealing with issues differently. When a man might cry, a woman might not cry. When a woman might scream with a same issue, a man might just keep calm. It doesn't mean that they're not suffering. It's just that they are keeping calm because they're scared of losing their sanity. That's why they're keeping calm. It doesn't mean that the issue should be lesser valued because the other person is screaming. If you're not screaming and this person is screaming, it doesn't mean that you're not going through the pain. You might be, it might be your way of dealing with that problem, but you're just still going through the same pain. So men and women are coping with issues differently. So let's keep a listening ear to all the men that can potentially come to us with a small or a bigger issue. Let's create an environment where men will feel able and willing to talk to us without feeling disgraced, without feeling less valued, without feeling undermined, without feeling less of a man, because we are losing a lot of our men to mental health problem. Mental illness is destroying a lot of men. On this note, we just received another comment from my son Atta saying mental health is important as the physical health. Of course, very, very true. Mental health is very, very important. The same way you will break your leg, the same way when your mind is not working, you should really be able to also seek for support. God bless you, Sister Andrea. We have Sister Andrea. She said good evening to everyone. Mental health is important as physical health. Yes, it is very important as physical health, and a lot of men are suffering. And as we are closing, I happened to speak to one, and this was a situation in church. It wasn't outside the church. It was a situation in church where one man was in church, and as I got to talk to him, as I carried on talking to him, I realized that very well dressed, very clean, very presentable, everything was very good. But as I carried on talking to him, I started realizing that his speech was off. We will talk something, then he finds himself talking about something else, and I'm wondering, when did he jump from this conversation to that conversation? So as he did as so many times, I realized that there is a problem. There was a problem. But seeing him physically, you will not know that there was a problem. But talking to him for 1 minute, 2 minutes, everything was fine. But after you carry on with a conversation for a long time, then you realize that stress has brought in depression and anxiety, and that is really holding him captive. And somebody like that is a completely fine person. It's just that depression, anxiety, and stress is really, really baffling with his man. And sometimes, like Richard says, sometimes it might just be people closer to the person who are actually creating that stressful situation. So our advice tonight is, sisters, brothers, even friends, colleagues, support your male colleagues, support your male friend. Don't boast too much about how your life is going good. Think about other that like life is not also going good, or if yours is going that great, advise them how they can also make their life go better than to just boast around. Because some people, when they hear somebody saying, oh, my life is working, my marriage is working, they think, oh, what is my wife not doing wrong? What is my husband is not doing wrong? But you're not also telling them what you are doing, what you are contributing to that marriage to make it work. Because it's not just your husband doing all the work, and it's not just your wife doing all the work. Obviously, both of you are putting something. Each one of you is sacrificing to make it work. So, brothers and sisters, let's help each other in order for our mind to be stable, especially those who are hearing the sound of our voices and you are abroad. You are dealing with lack of family. You are dealing with a society that is too demanding. You are dealing with friends that are coming around just to take what they can get. So if you have your brother around you, ensure that you support them, ensure that you help them, ensure that you look after them, and ensure that you hear them when they're going through. Sister Andrea is saying that men should be able to share. Men should be still receiving comment. She's saying men should be able to share with non-judgmental. Yes, men should definitely be able. I completely agree with that, with non-judgmental. And she goes on to say that a lot of young men friends have a WhatsApp group. So if anyone has a problem, they share and really around them. They share and rally around them. They should rescue one another. They should rescue each other and going down the wrong routes. So really, this is an advice, Pastor Enoch, that Sister Andrea is giving to young men like you are there, to have a WhatsApp group, to help each other, support each other. On this note, we are going to cease. We have been on the chats for a very, very long time today, and we are so glad that you enjoyed it and you have contributed so much. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you so much, my son Atta. Thank you so much, Richard. Richard has been there. Pastor Enoch, God bless you for your great input and great contribution. Until next time, let's chit chat. Thank you so much.
Our greetings to Mommy Ivy from Jamaica.
Oh, brilliant. That is very good. That is very good. Excellent. We greet you back. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Stay safe. Please share, follow, and subscribe. And we hope to be with you again next week. Let's chit chat. Thank you.
Let's Chit Chat UK live stream. Hey, I'm Pastor Cecile Abba, a counselor by